Greetings, greetings. Tonight is a good night where we go into the quantum side of addiction just a little bit and give the importance of establishing a new, clear vision, okay? And not reliving the old memories of the past. And I discuss how important it is because it's actually essential, okay? Now, first of all, I made a list, and it's a top six list, okay, of steps that I believe that you needed to take, okay, in vision. Wrote down a few vocabulary words, okay. I think I'm going to give you guys some vocabulary words at the end of each lesson, so we have something new to learn, okay. First, let me say that what got you here won't get you there. Wherever there is that you want to go, whatever there is that you need to be. Number one, learn to reinvent your mind. Transform your bad memories into good memories. Very important. Number two, stop being the victim. Number three, believe in a new you. Number four, do not let bad memories replay in your mind. Number five, ask yourself, what do you think you have to believe in to achieve your new goal or your new vision? So who do you believe you have to be to get where you need to go? And number six, establish a new vision, memorize it, and live as if it's your only job on earth. Okay, you get that? Number one, learn to reinvent your mind, transform your bad memories into good memories, into good lessons. Okay. When we reinvent our minds, what does that mean? Okay. I've broken it down before about the fuse knot in our head. Okay. These fingers are actually synapses. A synapsis is when a neuron links with another neuron, and through the course of time, it gets deeper intertwined because you repeat habits, and I'm going to go over that word later, that forms a synapsis. And the more you repeat it, the more you grow, that habit forms, it forms, and before you know it, you're on autopilot, and you don't know how you got there. So what you need to do is learn to reinvent your mind, transform your bad memories into good lessons. For example, uh, I can look back on my past and I can be sad. I went to jail. I lost it all. Good relationships. It separated me from my kids. I could dwell on that forever. Okay, and never find anything good from it. Or I can say to myself, you know what? The knowledge that I got from being down and out helped me teach my kids not to go in that direction because they may be easily influenced by the guy on the corner or what they see on TV shows or peers that constantly making them or trying to influence them to do what's cool. But through my lessons, I can tell them, look, I know for a fact that's not the way to go. Because I'm going to tell you what it did to me. Okay? So by reinventing my bad memories and transforming it into good lessons, I'm able to profit from it and teach others not to go that way. And next thing you know, I have a lesson that I learned from it. Okay. Now, either I can keep dwelling on it and let it consume me, or I can make the best of it. I choose to make the best of it. Number two, stop being the victim. That ties into number one. When you make yourself the victim, you become a pity party. You're constantly crying. Your vibrations are low, and before you know it, you're attracting more of what got you feeling down in the first place. When you stop being the victim and start looking at yourself as a winner instead of a loser, you immediately start to transform the way you live and the way you think because you're now connecting new neurons, all right, that you need to establish through new habits. But when you consider yourself as a victim, you've already lost. That's like telling yourself, I don't think I could do this. You've already shot yourself in the foot because you can't do it. So stop making yourself a victim if you want to get out of this thing alive, if you want to get out of this thing successful. Make up in your mind you're either a winner or a loser. Pick one. You can't be both. Number three, believe in a new you. This may have been, should have been number one because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Okay. There's a thin line between confidence and cocky. I take either one of those over poor self-esteem. I'll be a I'll be an arrogant bastard before I'll be uh, a lost cause pity party. Okay, because if I don't believe in myself, no one else will. If I want to be a leader and I don't believe in myself, who's going to follow me? Who can I sell on that? Okay, and it may sound crazy, but that's what life is about: selling people on something. That's what salesmen make their money. That's when you go on a job interview, you have to sell yourself. And if you go on a job interview like, well, I don't know if I really can do the job or not. I haven't been too good at it before, but I'm gonna try my best. I can't really promise anything. The guy you're in the interview is gonna be like, okay, well, thanks for coming in and thanks for being honest. I'll call you. I'll call you when we need a loser. Next, number four, do not let bad memories replay in your mind. Very important. So many times we go places and we hear people telling the same old story over and over and over again. And before you know their story better than they do. It's been proven that people who tell stories or 50% of their story isn't even true. So what's happened is we we've become accustomed of making our lives worse than they actually are because it feels good. I don't know, but it's a science that the brain drifts towards negativity. It's actually a fight to stay positive. That's why it's lonely at the top because you need a certain um, amount of brain power. You need a certain amount of willpower. You need a certain amount of optimism. The majority of the world are pessimists. The majority of the world see the world the glass half full. I mean, half empty. Don't be that guy. Okay. Number five, ask yourself, What do you think you have to believe to achieve your goals? For example, I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a transformational speaker. I know in order to be that person, I have to be able to stand in front of a crowd. I have to be confident in what I'm saying. I have to have good posture. I have to know more about what I'm speaking about than my audience. I know I have to know these things. So I have to prepare myself. Because if I don't prepare myself to be that person, I'm preparing myself for failure. Okay. And that's not what a winner does. He doesn't prepare for failure. He prepares to win. So first I have to believe it in my mind that I can achieve it. That's the first step. Because if I can't believe it, I'm going out I'm going out I'm going out on a whim. So until I can convince myself and feel good about it, I don't even go outside the door. Because when I leave outside, the clock starts ticking. Okay, now the race is on. I have to believe in myself and know the steps I have to take, okay, in order to achieve what I want to achieve, or else I'm just throwing darts in the wind. Number 6, establish a new vision, memorize it, and live as if it's your only job on earth. Okay? Very important to establish a new vision. Get the old vision out of your head. You done it. It didn't work. You learned from it. You got those lessons. Now you're recreating yourself and you are not looking back for nothing. You're not looking back anymore. You don't want to talk about what you used to do. Okay. You want to compare war stories? You won. Yours is worse than mine's. You get the prize for that. I don't even know what mine is anymore. I forgot it. I know the lessons I learned from it. But as far as me repeating it over and over again, and it's becoming repetition, not me. No. I got a new memory that I haven't lived yet, but guess what? I'm going to walk into it because just as I walked away from something, I can walk into it. Those old memories are going to spark new chemicals in my brain. Those old memories are going to spark old chemicals in my brain. And before you know it, I'm going to want to go back. And what's the law of energy? Energy doesn't rest. It either goes forward or goes backwards. So if I'm not learning new things, if I'm not thinking on new visions, if I'm not creating new pathways, new patterns in my mind, I'm going back to the old ones. So it's essential that I have a new vision in my mind. Okay. And I'm following a new structure. I may have to reorganize my standards. I may have to redevelop my neural pathways. I might have to, I have to form new synapses because in order for me to form new synapses, I have to be aware of my old ones. I believe the word is metacognition. It's when you're aware of your thoughts. Very important. You have to be aware of the thoughts that keep repeating themselves, that lead down the path that is not productive. The difference between someone who's a loser and someone is a winner is that a, a loser has habitual patterns of destruction. And they may not be even aware of it. But a winner has deliberate patterns of success. Okay? So that's my top 6. I got a few words that I like to go over, a few phrases. This is a phrase. The first one is deliberate conscious evolution. deliberate conscious evolution. It really speaks for itself, but it means to deliberately change the way I think now. Okay, it's something I'm doing on purpose. I recognize my bad thoughts. I know how to be the third person looking outside in to myself and my thoughts. So I can recognize my bad behavior. Okay, I can observe them. That's very unique. Can you observe your bad behavior? Can you look at yourself and go, I keep doing that same thing and it's keep getting me the same place. But I felt like it was all right. I felt like I was going to be all right. But here I am again. Something's going on. I need to reevaluate. Okay. Deliberate conscious evolution. The second word is epigenetics or epigenics. Very important word. It means the gene, the environment forms the gene. My grandmother told me when I decided to move to New York one year so I could get out of Baltimore. And she said, "What you moving to New York for?" I said, "I just want to get away from the bad area, the bad stuff and everything like that, Grandma." She said, "Wherever you go, you still going to be there." And for a while, she was right. But in the end, Grandma was wrong. Because it even says in the Bible, good good company and bad company don't mix. Because good company will learn the ways of bad company. There you go. Bad company wins every time. You can't play with bad company. You can't do it. It's not worth it. You're not going to win. For one, bad company really has nothing to lose. They'll put it all on the line every single time. Okay, and good company has morals. They only do certain stuff. They're not going to go that far. But bad company, there's no limit. They'll drag you down and drag everybody else down with them. That's epigenetics. Stop getting in where you fit in. It's easy to get in where you fit in if you're a former drug addict or a person who's always acting a fool. There's tons of fools, tons of drug addicts. All you gotta do is just slide in and but before you know it, you're back on autopilot and you're fitting right in. It's hard to get in where you belong because it's intimidating. I want to be rich. I need to just pack up and go where the rich people are. It may take me a minute to get adjusted, but guess what? One day, I'm going to meet the right person. I'm going to learn the right things. And before you know it, I'm jumping the double dutch with the rich people. I'm in the kitchen and I'm whipping, seasoning and chicken. Stop getting in where you fit in and get in where you belong. Period. The next and last word is automaticity. Very important word. Automaticity. Automaticity is the ability to do things without thinking about it because you've repeated it so many times. Now you're on autopilot and you don't know how you got there. You don't know how you ended up back on the block. You don't know how you ended up doing something crazy. You don't know how you ended up where you are because you keep thinking the same thing. You keep repeating the same stupid stuff out your mouth over and over and over again because you think it sounds cool or you think it's going to get over on somebody, but really you're just getting over on yourself because you're not getting anywhere. Give it up. Learn how to reprogram by deprogramming your old patterns. Always look for something new. Always try to do something new. Last but not least, I'm going to say this. If your reason to change isn't big enough, there's a good chance your excuses are. Well, I'm not going to change because I ain't got time right now to be doing something new and learning new things. I'm already almost 60 years old. I ain't got time to be trying to learn that new. I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing and fuck it. That's the biggest, dumbest excuse in the world. So I went over the quantum side today. Everything I said is strictly the quantum side of addiction. The quantum side starts here. Okay? Reprogramming our programs and inserting them back into the computer over and over again. Like we did when we was doing what we was doing, when we was chasing. We woke up every day and did the same stupid stuff over and over again. In order to form new synapses, form new patterns, we have to tighten that knot. Keep tightening the knot. Keep tightening the knot until we're a new person. This junk in the trunk ain't made for chumps. If you're serious about recovery, if you're committed and not just interested, when you're committed, you do whatever it takes. That's the quantum side of things. And this is the vortex.